I'm made co-host. You want me to make you also co-host now, right, ma'am? Yeah, I made. Yeah, you were locked. You're locked.
Sonalata ma'am's audio is not really okay. Okay, so nobody has to worry about the recording. It's being streamed live, and we will go. Rajeshwari ma'am can start the meeting sharp at 6. Okay, see you all in some time.
Yeah. Okay. I got a problem. I was talking to Rajeshwari ma'am with my.
Sonalata ma'am, just post the meeting link across our guest group and SAG group, and also that people can join.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, thank you.
Ma'am, we have not cut our WhatsApp call. That's why it's echoing your voice and my voice. Rajeshwari ma'am.
Oh, I forgot to say, Rajeshwari ma'am and Sonalata ma'am, you both are looking so beautiful.
Thank you.
Okay, one round of flirting is done.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, ma'am, loud
Can
and
you
clear.
hear me?
Yes, this is perfect,
Yes.
Rajeshwari ma'am. Yes.
I am not able to hear Suryadeep's voice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can hear you.
Toastmaster Suryadeep.
Hi, sir.
Hi, Satyanarayan sir. How are
Hi.
you?
I am doing great. Thank you for asking. Suryadeep sir.
He will be back. He is enjoying some crepes or pani puri.
No, I'm just requesting him to introduce this subject in our mentoring session also.
Which one? Which session?
How to do that, whatever Rajeshwari Yogi have told just before a while. How to do it efficiently. See, he's so natural to it.
Yeah, you must. He's very good at it.
I'll definitely. Okay, it's.
This meeting is streaming on YouTube.
I have little bit scope left, but still I want to learn it.
Oh.
I don't think you're hopeless.
Pardon?
Somehow I don't get that vibes that you're hopeless in that.
I am already 43, ma'am.
Okay.
So life begins after 40.
So that's why we are here today with the theme "Get It Out."
Yes,
we have to bring out the inner child.
Yeah, not the 40s. Right.
Age is just a number.
Yeah, it's just a number.
I need to think out my response and come back to you, Savan.
Definitely, you should. Like you will find. I guess your inner child should be responding to me.
Let us limit it to child only.
Hello, Uma ma'am. Welcome.
Hello, Uma ma'am.
Good evening.
The moment Uma ma'am comes on the browser now, she just shines so much that all becomes so dark. Look at her saree, the blue color one.
Center of attraction, Uma ma'am.
Yeah, she always shines like that.
Yeah.
Just now we had a conversation with Praveen sir in his third meeting. It was a sudden call. I don't know whether any of you saw.
Yeah, that one with 4:53 p.m. That meeting.
Just now ended. It was good. There was a game where he took a topic. We had to agree or disagree, and then it will continue. So some interesting conversation was there.
Oh, okay.
Wow. There are two Satya sir today.
I have logged in from two systems. I'll just remove one.
I think why Rajeshwari ma'am has logged.
She is, I think, area 4. Like Rajeshwari ma'am is, I think, named as area 4. I think E4, area E4. Yeah, she might have logged in by that Toastmaster official Zoom link, Zoom credentials.
Okay. Just give me 2 minutes. I need to set my house ready and come back. In 2 minutes, I'll be there.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect.
Hi, Uma ma'am. How are you?
Fine, Satya sir. So you gave another speech today or yesterday? 2 days back.
Not speech. That day, yes. That day I have given on 13th, I believe. Yeah.
Okay.
So I was supposed to give it later, but yeah, I got once the speech slot somewhere in I think it is in Karnataka, I believe. There the club name is I just missed it. It's a corporate club, I believe.
Okay.
It is nice. So in the meanwhile, I have tried my luck into two other clubs, overseas clubs. So one in Seoul and other in Stockholm. So okay, that's fine and good to know some good people. In these Southeast Asian countries, you need to just go extra slow, and the accent is genuinely a trouble. And unfortunately, I have taken a timekeeper role in one of the Seoul clubs, so I was struggling literally to recall the names. So while presenting my report, I just struggled like anything because
Satya
all
sir,
these names.
where
Yeah.
did you get the links from?
No,
It's
I
a
just
global Toastmasters link.
I contacted them directly in Facebook, just using the mentoring tips from Toastmasters Suvidip. I picked 10 of them and texted them if they have any opportunity for any guest to visit them. And fortunately, 2-3 of them have called me, and
Responded.
I couldn't.
Okay.
Yeah, I couldn't connect to one because it is clashing with our schedule.
And welcome guest Tina. I think we have one guest. Welcome to our club.
Hi Tina, welcome.
Welcome,
to
Tina.
Speak Magic.
Hi, Tina Di.
Don't call me Di.
Welcome.
Yeah, that in
Welcome to
online
the
meetings
session.
you cannot call.
Thank you so much, everyone.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Hi, hello everyone.
Ganesh,
And
welcome
we have
Ganesh.
more people joining in, right?
Yeah. Rajeshwari ma'am, you can just start in next 2 minutes, right?
Yeah.
Also, yeah. We have a timer counter. Grammarian is Yogeshwari. Speaker 1, Karthik Kumar. Okay.
He's joined.
Hello everyone.
Hello. Hello, sir. Lavanya, are you there? It has been long time.
Hello.
Hi.
Long time.
Yeah, I've been stuck up with college and a lot of tournaments. So, yeah.
All the role players and speakers, please rename themselves if you've not added the role. Nabamita ma'am has not joined it, right?
Yeah, Navamita ma'am is not joining. Yeah, we can start the meeting. By the time the general evaluator introduction is done, she'll be with us. Welcome, lovely Sharma ma'am, for our club. I think we have one more guest.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome, Bharat. It's been a long time.
Hi, Swamrata ma'am.
Hi.
I think I'll start now.
Fine. Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm Dr. Rajeshwari Rapata, the Sergeant at Arms today. Today is the 164th meeting, and the theme of this meeting is Get It Out by Demode Savan. The word of the day is one salad day. Without too much ado, let me explain about the ground rules of the meeting today. As Toastmasters, we don't talk about sex, religion, politics. So please refrain from discussing these topics. Please do not cross talk and put yourself on mute if you are not speaking. Avoid the background noises. Please turn off your video if you're stepping out of the meeting. So these are some of the ground rules, and let me welcome our ever charming president, Dr. Suryadeep, and take over the meeting. TM Dr. Suryadeep. Toastmaster Dr. Suryadeep. I think he's still enjoying the pani puris.
I think he said he'll join back by 6:05. So maybe if somebody can ping it or pick up.
I think we can start with maybe PM Modi. You can just start your introduction. By the time Suryadeep signs in, we can just give back to him.
Yeah, TM Modi, Savan, Arora, just get it out. And let me see that how you're going to bring our kids out of us.
Definitely. Okay, so literature Nobel Prize winner George Bernard Shaw once said, "We don't stop playing because we grow old. Rather, we grow old because we stop playing." Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I, Savan Arora, welcome you all once again to the 164th meeting of our super enthusiastic and magical club, Speak Magic Toastmasters, with the magical theme, Get It Out. So as the title suggests, let's cherish and unleash our inner child today. Start with, do you guys remember how we used to sing good morning in our schools, in the classrooms? So here's a request, a shout out to everybody. Please unmute yourselves and we are going to wish good evening to each and everyone here. We'll be saying good evening, people, in the same tone as we say it in our schools. Please unmute yourself, everybody.
Good
Good
evening,
evening.
all.
Good evening, everyone.
Thank
in that
you,
way.
people. So that's superb energy, amazing. Let's move on and let me quickly introduce you all to the usual flow of a Toastmasters meeting. So remember in school how the teachers used to give us some topics and okay, we have to speak on that. We have to present it tomorrow, usually called as the oral exams. Nowadays, it is more of a weekly test, but in our times when we were young, and I'm sure everybody here is elder to me. So those were the times when we used to have oral exams as well. So the first section of this, our meeting today is the same, which is the prepared speeches, with the only difference that speakers themselves have decided what they're going to speak on. So every speaker will get a 5 to 7 minutes time. And if there's an icebreaker speech, that means the first speech for any Toastmaster, the duration will be 4 to 6 minutes. Again, a prepared test is fine. But what about the times we were not prepared and the teacher used to give us surprise tests? That is the second section, which is the table topics in the Toastmasters meeting. However, today, since we have a lot of speakers, so we will be skipping the table topics session today, and we'll be moving on to the next section. So finally, exams done, everything done. What next? The most toughest part, the parents-teachers meeting. We used to get feedback in the parents-teachers meeting, and here again in the next section, we get the feedback. Certainly, we are fortunate enough that we do not need to call our parents. The evaluators will give the feedback directly to the speakers in just a time of 2 to 3 minutes. So I hope that's all good. Everybody understood? Please say yes, TMOD.
Yes, TM
Modi.
Hey, I hear you all. That's great. So before we proceed further, I just want to have a quick check on how much of a child still exists in all of you. Taking a random person out of here, let me call upon Rajeshwari ma'am. Here's a question to you. Ma'am, what are your childlike traits that you still possess within you?
I didn't get you, sorry.
What are your childlike traits, things that you used to do in your childhood and you still possess? You're still doing the same things. Anything specific?
My childlike thing is, so many things I could relate to, because I have never changed the child I was when I was a child. So there are so many things which I do still. But what happens is when we are out in our profession, at that time, some limitations come where you are not about to be so weird. But yet, I would like to relate to those things which I still do as a child. I become a child among children. As my profession is, I'm the professor, and I'm always surrounded by my students who are right from the teenagers, 18 onwards, and these children, I consider them my children. And these children, they come with so many curious questions, which seem sometimes silly to me, but yet it's very serious for them. They come with a genuine curiosity, and I do crack jokes with them, and I do explain them the things in their own way. So that's one thing. Second thing, I have myself the childlike curiosity still on, and that's what keeps me going, I feel. So that childlike curiosity helps me in acquiring learnings from many people. Either they may be younger to me, they may be older to me. I still have that childlike curiosity. That's one thing which still not dead.
Perfect. That's awesome. And that brings us to a refresher that curiosity is needed to stay a child. So do not kill curiosity. Stay curious always, and that will keep your inner child alive. So now moving on, I would like to introduce General Evaluator to all of you.
Savan, just interrupt you. Our president is back, so please hand over to him so that he will do the presidential
definitely.
address.
So we can have the presidential address as well, since he is the General Evaluator as well today. So let me
welcome back, our charming president, and we are eagerly waiting for you to start our meeting.
Okay, let's give it up for Rajeshwari ma'am and Toastmaster Savan. I think the first evaluation that I'm going to bring is that the presiding officer is late because he went for a pani puri thing. I mean, not fair. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Well, amazing, crazy. Now, I'm sure you all have already got a little overview. So we'll straight away get into the whole process of getting to know our guests. So I'm going to combine both my presidential address as well as GE together. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bang the 163rd meeting as open. Yeah, that's my unique way to do it, because the more I hit my head, the more creative ideas come up. Okay, so we got a couple of phenomenal guests. Let's hear it from Tina. So Tina is here. Tina, could you please tell us a little bit about yourself? And of course, how did you get to know about this meeting? Over to you.
Yeah, so my name is Tina Ashok Dhingra. I live in Bangalore. I'm organic lifestyle entrepreneur and coach. And I know Sarthak because he was with me in one course, motivational speaker. There is one motivational speaker, Amul Karale. So we were accountability partner in that group. So that's how I get to know about this. And today is I'm attending as a guest. And but I always wanted to be a part of Toastmaster, and I always wanted to be a good speaker. So that's
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Tina, everybody. Well, I think we got some phenomenal stuff up in store for you, and I really love that mic. I mean, little envious. I mean, crazy. Good to have you today. Please do enjoy the meeting. Okay, next up we have. Okay, yeah, Alok sir, we know Alok sir. Okay, let me see a few of the non-video participants. Wait, we got Ashini. So Ashini, could you please give us a little bit about yourself and what are your expectations from this meeting? Over to you. Ashini, are you there? Okay, perfect. We're going to move on. We got Lovely Sharma. So Lovely, could you please bless us a little bit about yourself and also what are your expectations from today's meeting?
Yeah.
Yes, over to you.
I'm Lovely Sharma, and yesterday only I attended this meeting just to learn about. I want to be a good speaker, so I joined this. That's all.
Phenomenal. Let's give it up for Lovely Sharma. Well, the best way to be a better speaker is obviously to join our club. Okay. Now we got a very special person. We got Archana ma'am in the house there. Archana ma'am, could you please bless us a little bit with your introduction and also tell us your expectation from this club meeting? Archana ma'am, are you there?
Hello everyone. Hi Suryadev. I'm here because of you. And yes, I am a good speaker, but I want to be a more polished speaker and I want to hang out with the like-minded people. And that's the reason I'm joining this Toastmasters meeting today. And I'm looking forward to learn a lot from you all guys. Thank you so much.
Amazing. Let's give it up for Archana ma'am. I'm sure for those who are associated with Speak and Grow are familiar with Archana ma'am. Okay. I think we have, yeah, that is all with respect to our guest. Okay. So Ashini, I just got a message that in my chat that you happen to be Savan's nephew. Wait, Savan's niece. So could you please just come on camera and just wave us, maybe a hi or something. So we'll get to see you. Yes. Is that okay? No. Okay, maybe later. No problem at all. Phenomenal. So good evening once again. Okay. So yeah, Ganesh sir. Yes, Toastmaster Ganesh. We got Toastmaster Ganesh in the house. Well, he is a very, very new joining in the Sprouts Toastmasters Club. So Ganesh sir, could you please give us a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, hello everyone and good evening. I'm Ganesh and I'm basically an IT engineer serving like working with Accenture as of now, and along with that I'm also a emotional healer and bachelor therapist. So the objective of I had many misconceptions around the Toastmasters Club and so seriousness about that, but now that's gone away, and I think I can celebrate this journey with all of you, and I wanted to polish my communication skills with you all people. I'm already part of the SAC family and learning and earning based on that. So thank you for the joining me with all of us.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. Let's give it up for Ganesh sir. Well, you got a lot of stuff in store for sure in this particular meeting. Okay. We also have Shikha. So Shikha, could you please give us a little bit about yourself and what are your expectations? Shikha, are you there? Yes.
Hi all. I'm Shikha from Gorakhpur, and right now I'm suffering from cold, so I can't speak too much. And my objective to join this meeting is to learn and to observe all of you. And I want to learn. Actually, I'm not very familiar with Toastmasters. I'm just attending all the meetings, almost all the meetings, and want to improve my English. Right now, that this much my objectives are.
Phenomenal, phenomenal. So good to hear from you, and we are looking forward. We are hoping that you're going to definitely join our club. It's going to be a pleasure and honor for us.
Yeah, and thank you for letting me join all these meetings, for giving me all these opportunities.
Pleasure and honor is all ours, ma'am. Yeah, thank you so much. Okay, we also have Shweta. So Shweta, can we hear from you as well?
Hi, I'm Shweta Kedia, and my objective to join this Toastmaster is just to gain confidence and become an effective communicator. That's it.
Perfect, perfect. Let's give it up for Shweta also, everybody. And it's always such a pleasure because when we got guests coming in, it just shows how much we are growing as a family, and we want to just have you in our club as well so that we can hear speeches from you. So today is another very interesting kind of a meeting because today I am taking the general evaluator's role after a long, long time. What is the role of a general evaluator? It's to play with you, like literally. Every single one of us who's going to speak I'm going to literally take the responsibility of analyzing your performance, your presentation, your preparation every single time you speak. The L is I'm going to laud you for all the amazing things that you are going to bring to the table every single time you speak. The A is when I'm going to focus on the apparent and gross improvements that you can work on. And obviously the Y, because every Toastmasters meeting is about you. So we're going to be focused on you. Now, how will I do that? Well, the evaluation section you'll get to see. I'll have my set of evaluators as well as the tag team. What is the tag team? The auxiliary role players, the team members without whom the evaluation section is absolutely incomplete. Now, we've got a phenomenal set of team members today. The first, we have the timer's role. What is the timer? Well, you'll get to hear from him as well. Now, this man is someone I really adore. And after a long, long time, he's making a comeback into our Toastmasters Club. We're so blessed to have Toastmaster Vivek as the timer of the day. Vivek, sir, could you kindly bless us with the introduction of the role, and welcome back, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I will just start with my timer's role. Time is the most valuable asset we have. Time once lost is lost forever. We can never get it back. So it is important to use our time wisely and value others' time too. Greeting fellow Toastmasters and guests. My role as a timer is to keep time of all the prepared speeches, table topics, and evaluations, and ensure that everyone speaks within their allotted time slot. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have using the green, yellow, and red card. The time limit for prepared speeches is 5 to 7 minutes. At 5 minutes, I'll flash the green card. At 6 minutes, I'll flash the yellow card, and 7 minutes, I'll flash the red card. For the icebreaker speech, the time limit is 4 to 6 minutes. At 4 minutes, I'll flash the green card. At 5 minutes, I'll flash the yellow card, and at 6 minutes, I'll flash the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will flash the green card. At 2 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll flash the yellow card, and at 3 minutes, I'll flash the red card. All the speakers and evaluators will also get a grace period of 30 seconds, after which they will have to wrap up their speech and evaluations. Otherwise, they will be disqualified. I will present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon by the general evaluator. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, Vivek, sir. Let's give it up for Vivek, sir, everybody. I mean, you know, ever since his Speechcraft days, I've been such a huge fan. We all have been, in fact. We're so blessed to have you once again, sir. Okay, now for the R counter, what is the R counter? I guess I forgot. Let's bring her up only to tell us more about it. For the R counter of the day, we have the very beautiful, the very magical, someone I'm probably slowly the crush for her is growing bigger and bigger because she is the VP Education of our club. Let's give it up for Swarnalata, ma'am. Could you please bless us with your role, ma'am? Over to you.
Yeah. And a toddler looks adorable, mumbling meaningless words, but that's not for an adult. While a toddler may be blessed with kisses for that, but for a grown-up in an important interview and in presentations, that could be kiss of death. That's why every Toastmasters meeting has a role of R counter. Today, my role would be, I will keep track of all the filler words that you use, like aha, and also the clutch words like, you know what, I know, I believe, and keep the record used by the speaker, and I will bring up my report when called by General Evaluator. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Swarnalata, ma'am. Okay, for our final roll call, before we bring in the final roll call, I think all our guests, we are putting up a small little link in the chat. What I would love for you all to do is just fill up that celebration form so that we can stay in touch with you. We can really get to know you a little better. This is exclusively for the guests, so please do fill that up. Okay, our final roll call is the very beautiful, the very magical, the English professor, the business communication skills trainer, IELTS trainer, TEDx speaker, the second TEDx speaker of our club. She has recently finished her pathway. She's the previous VP Education of Speak Magic Toastmasters Club. As a grammarian, let's give it up for the very magical Toastmaster Yogeshwari. Over to you, Toastmaster Yogeshwari. Please bless us with your role.
Thank you so much for that detailed, elaborate, never-ending description about me. I really loved it, dear Toastmaster, no, dear the General Evaluator of the day. Now, my role is a grammarian. So what is a grammarian, which is my profession, which is nothing but look into your language. What will I do? I will keenly observe every usage of language that you make when you speak. And I will make note of all the good you said so that I can applaud you when I'm called upon by the general evaluator, as well as along with that, I will also present my report on the not so good usages by giving some suggestions on it. Now, along with this, I have another task, which is to introduce you to the word of the day. Now, what is the word of the day? Actually, it is 3 words. So I would like to call it as a phrase. Now, the word or the phrase of the day is once salad days. Now, what is once salad days? Which means the period when one is young and inexperienced. The period when one is young and inexperienced. So to put it in sentence, we may use it as the war seemed to be ending, and so were my salad days. The war seemed to be ending, and so were my salad days. Just to make it a little simple, I enjoyed my salad days. I seemed very lethargic, carefree during my salad days. So these are the simple usages. I would appreciate and encourage every speaker to use the word of the day in their usage, as well as I would request all the others to give virtual applause when any speaker is using the word of the day. And I will also give a shout out to the ones who is using the word of the day when I'm called upon by the general evaluator. Back to you, general evaluator.
Amazing. Let's give it up for Toastmaster Yogeshwari. Once again, I'm sure starting with my salad days from today itself. Well, I'm going to be back at the end of the meeting along with the tag team and the set of evaluators to present our report. Now let's hand it over straight away to our TMOD Savan. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. And since we are already running short of time, so I would now let's begin with the speech and the speaker. And for our first speaker, who is giving his icebreaker speech today, let me first call upon his evaluator. And the evaluator for our speaker one is a manager in a manufacturing company, blessed with a happy family, father of 2. He loves interacting with people and helping them in their career success. He believes you have it all, be on the move and stay in the game. Please welcome TM Satya to introduce the project for our first speaker.
Hello everyone, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmasters. My speaker for today is Toastmaster P. Karthik. So it is the icebreaker speech number 1 for Toastmaster Karthik. It is the pathway is presentation mastery. So I wish that he'll be having a phenomenal speech today. Over to you.
Thank you so much, TM Satya. And I would also like to mention it is the first evaluation project for TM Satya as well, which will be evaluated by TM Yogeshwari. So please keep a note of that. Now let's call upon speaker. And about speaker, he is a public servant. He's a new member to Toastmaster. That's why it is his icebreaker. And he believes working with like-minded people that will give best results in the journey. So let's welcome TM Karthik with the speech title, My Journey Begins with Toastmasters. My journey begins with Toastmasters, TM Karthik. The stage is all yours.
Yeah. Suddenly, it all happened. Even I didn't finish my honeymoon period. How could they expect this from me? Better I should say no to them. Yes, these thoughts were running in my mind since last week when I was given a slot to give my speech on first icebreaker speech. When Winston Churchill asked about the time required to prepare for speech, he beautifully replied that if you want me to speak for 2 minutes, it will take me 3 weeks for preparation. If you want me to speak for 30 minutes, it will take me a week to prepare. If you want me to speak for 1 hour, I am ready now. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. My name is Karthik Kumar. I am a government servant working in Postal Department as Inspector of Post. As a child, I was very shy and avoided all company. I feel very comfortable when I stand behind someone back. I am afraid of speaking even before two people. From my childhood to my job, I cleverly avoided all situations which allows me to speak before public. In 2018, my department has announced promotion exam. If I clear the exam, I will be promoted to an officer rank from a clerical clerk, which I will get a better pay also. So I decided to write the exam and started preparing for it. Soon I cleared the exam and I was promoted to inspector post, and I was posted at Vandavasi as subdivisional head. Now I am in charge of 85 post offices where I have to take care of people, to take inspections, to handle compliance, and to develop business. Till here, everything is fine for me, and the life gives me a twist here. Since my childhood, I was afraid of speaking before people, but I cannot do that anymore. I have to speak before people, which is unavoidable, and it is my part of my job. Even I can hear the heartbeat uh, when I was standing in dash to give my first speech. I was just trembling for words. Luckily, I had the script in my hand. I just started reading the script hurriedly. I finished my speech. The situation is very horrible for me. That moment, I decided to learn public speaking and to speak confidently before public. But I don't know what to do. So I asked Google to help me. He showed me everything he had. He showed me like videos, blogs, YouTube channels, books, etc. Whatever he had. I started to watch videos suggested by Google. Sometimes I wonder that whenever I was in YouTube channel, one person followed me. First, I just ignore him. Sometimes I wonder how could you came to know that I was preparing for public speaking. But eventually I fell into his trap. Yes, I attended 3 hours live webinar on public speaking taken by Praveen Vadkar sir, where he convinced me to join lifetime membership also. I joined immediately without any hesitations. In one of the videos, he suggested me to join SAT community on Facebook, where one has to post an impromptu channel video every day. I just started watching the videos posted by other members regularly. I could see that only a handful of people are posting the videos regularly. That too, they were speaking very well. I feel something wrong in it. I feel like cheated, and I convinced myself that it must be a paid post. So I slowly discarded myself from attending Speak and Grow family, but I now realize that it is a big mistake. After that, I feel the pressure, and my fear for public speaking further dragged me down. Again, I asked the Google to help me for rescue. This time, he showed me and suggested me to join Toastmasters Club. Now I am a member of Speak Magic Toastmasters Club, and I am happy to begin my journey with Toastmasters. Thank you, Toastmasters, for giving me the opportunity. Thank you.
Big round of applause for TM Karthik, everybody. So that was really great, and congratulations to you for starting your journey with Toastmasters, and we wish you go long, long way ahead with Toastmasters, and you get all the learnings that you wish for. So before moving on, may I ask you a small question, TM Karthik, if you do not mind, or do you?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes,
so
yes.
Very simple question. Where did you use to spend your pocket money, and how much did you get for your daily pocket money?
Yeah, I'm working. It's not. I'm regular job.
No.
Packet
When
money
you were
stuff.
a kid, what was your usual pocket money and what you would do with that?
Yeah, my pocket money used to be around 1 or 2 rupees, which was given by my parent or my grandmother. I used to buy some sweets or some chocolates. I used to eat it wrong.
Great. Obviously, and gone are those days when we could cannot get sweets in just
Yes.
2 rupees, and those were the times definitely we could have so much. So that's wonderful. And thank you so much, TM Karthik. So let's move on for our next speech, everyone. And for our next speech, let me call upon and introduce the evaluator. She is a very candid, lively, enthusiastic, and a lifelong learner. She's a human resource professional with 15 years of experience in multiple corporate fields. As of now, she is working as an HR profession in one of the renowned food consultant organizations. She likes poetry, reading books, and public speaking. She is also a YouTuber. Please welcome TM Navamita to introduce the project entitled for our speaker.
Thank you so much for a warm introduction to you, Modi. Today, I am the evaluator of Toastmaster Savan Arora, and who is going to deliver his speech on level 2, project 2, which is effective body language under the pathway presentation mastery. So the purpose of this project is for the member to deliver a speech with awareness of international and unintentional body language, as well as intentional and intentional body language, as well as to learn, practice, and refine how he or she uses non-verbal communication when delivering a speech. So I would like to congratulate best of luck to say him, and I will come up when G will call me with my report. Thank you very much.
Navamita ma'am, can you please introduce the title for me as well, since I...
Yeah. So our TM Modi is himself second speaker. So his title name is A Walk in the Snow. A Walk in the Snow. Stage is yours.
Where there is a will, there is a way. 28th December 2020, I started a road trip with my two friends, Gur and Jas, from Delhi to Amritsar and Manali on my silver Wagoner. I was really excited for this trip for two reasons. One, I had never seen snow in my life, except for some that gathers in the old refrigerator. Second, Gur being my best friend, it was our first trip together. So we spent 2 nights in Amritsar and started from Manali. Gur being younger to me, he was a good time traveler while I was in my salad days. All my life, I had not been very daring, to be frank, and he was the exact opposite. For the same reason, he insisted me to take up driving because I had never driven car on mountains. Once I started, initially it went well, but in the midway we had to stop due to traffic. And then as I pick up, I would try accelerating, go back, accelerate, back. I just couldn't pick up. Just who was sleeping at the back seat got scared and woke up. Even I got more conscious as the vehicle behind us started pressing horn. Bang, bang, bang. I said, buddy, I cannot drive, you take up. And he was like, Savan, if you do not drive today, you will never be able to. There's a technique with the handbrake and the accelerator on the hills. And with his guidance, I finally managed to drive. The next morning from Manali, we started for a beautiful place, Sisu, via the 9-kilometer long Atal tunnel. People had another level of craze for this tunnel because it reduced the 6 hours journey of Rohtang to only 45 minutes. Can you imagine? Once we reached Sisu, we wanted to go to the village side, but due to COVID restrictions, it was not allowed, and we had to stop midway at the helipad point. Now, I'm the kind of person, something's not allowed, let's not do it. But you know my friend Gur. He started building PR with the duty officers. And before he could do something, our car broke. Suddenly there was heat and smoke from the engine, and we needed water to cool it down that could be available only in the village side. So the officers allowed us to take that route. And then there was no looking back. We reached till the end to find a beautiful hotel with an amazing view. So we decided to spend a night there. The real adventure started next morning as we were having breakfast and we witnessed snowfall. After a few minutes, there was an announcement to pack bags and go back Manali. I was sad. So while everyone was going left towards Manali, 3 of us went 100 meters to the right to have a walk in the snow. Now, as we reached there, that view was just mesmerizing, amazing, full of peace. I cannot express. Deep inside, I was worried because the roads were getting snow-packed and we had a CNG car. It was not a Mahindra Thar. We rushed back and started our journey. And unfortunately, same thing happened just after a few kilometers. Our car started to lose control. It was not going, either going left or right, but not straight. And a point came, it literally stopped. We're stuck. We tried the rope technique, but no luck. Before we could do something else, Gur called us and said, Savan, there's a beautiful frozen waterfall. Get yourself clicked. We gave him an angry look, but we got ourselves clicked. Then we did something unusual I would never recommend to anybody. Jess and I sat on the bonnet to put weight on the wheels. And Gur was driving like this. Boom. It worked. That was the most horrifying thing because there was no fencing on my side of the road. And after about 40 meters, I literally jumped off. Fortunately, we were all set to sit back inside. We kept praying and got a sigh of relief only as we saw the tunnel approaching. It was all clean. However, there was jam at the exit. At once we thought it would be 15-20 minutes thing, we'll get over. Trust me. From 12:30 in the afternoon, it was 11:30 in the night. We were stuck there. Everybody was losing patience. People had nothing to eat, nothing to drink. What seemed to be a regular jam turned out to be a rescue operation by government, which ended at 1:30 a.m. midnight. And the most scary part for me was to leave my car outside the tunnel with a huge risk of avalanche. I was not sure if I'll get my car back. Fortunately, 2 days later, we got a message that now we can come and collect our car. And that view was just jaw-dropping. I thanked God and prayed that we reach home safely. Had we not been to that 100-meter walk, we could have saved ourselves from everything that happened. But today, what I have as experience and memories, I feel grateful to have taken that chance. That walk in the snow gave me a lesson that life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. What do you think, General Evaluator? Thank you so much. Thank you all. So now what do I say? I'm the TMOD.
No, I'll just take the liberty here to just ask everybody to just unmute themselves and just give that a round of applause for Savan.
Yeah.
Over to you, Savan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much, Surya and everybody. And I just hope that I was able to keep it up, to make it up to what we thought. And now let's have some fun. Maybe we can have some more questions. So let me ask our general evaluator. Surya, what is your experience as a child? Something mischievous you would have done that you still remember and you laugh at. Okay, I did this. I was so weird. I could do that.
I still continue to do the same. It's like whenever I see people around and they are very quiet and cool, I just shove my hand out like this and so that everybody will feel like there's a cow suddenly as Zoom mode. Like still continue to do it. I just can't stop being mischievous. Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. So I believe that there are so many people who already have their inner child awakened permanently here in the Toastmasters Club, which is wonderful for everybody. And those who are not, they can learn from others. So that's wonderful. Okay, so I think it's time that we move on to our next speaker. And for that, let me introduce the evaluator for our third speaker. Okay, so the evaluator for our third speaker, she's a chemical engineer by profession. I believe everybody is now aware who is the third evaluator. She has a good experience of 13 years, and she is also a certified TEDx coach, a lifelong learner, very crazy, adventurous in nature, and an awesome evaluator is what I also feel. So please welcome TM Swarnalata to be the evaluator for our third speaker. Ma'am, please introduce the details for our third speaker.
Thank you, sir. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, and a special good evening to my assigned speaker, Karthik Arora. Karthik is going to present his speech from the pathway of presentation mastery, level 1, project 2. His speech is about evaluation and feedback. So the project has 2 objectives. The purpose of this project is for member to present any speech of his choice and receive a feedback and apply the feedback to the second speech. I think he will be having his salad days. So back to you, Toastmaster of the Day.
Thank you so much, Evaluator 3, for the introduction. And let me introduce our speaker 3. Our speaker 3 is a founder of Speak and Present community. And he's also the CEO of the community. He has 3 years of corporate experience in aviation industry. He loves to speak, help people, and take initiatives. He follows a spiritual path and is also a vegan. So please welcome our third speaker, TM Karthik Arora, with the title Secret of Becoming Effective in English. Secret of Becoming Effective in English, TM Karthik. The stage is all yours.
Thank you so much, General. Thank you so much, TMOD. There is one thing common in all of us, that when we start to broaden our horizon of knowledge, we start searching for different type of courses that can change our lives and makes us skillful. How many of you resonate with me? Just show up your hands. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. So the same happened with me. When I started my journey, as I passed my school life, I also started searching for different type of courses. After research and connection, finally, I decided to pursue hotel management course. I remember it was 2015 when I started grabbing theoretical knowledge about that course. As time vanished away with theoretical and practical knowledge, in 2017, all of the students were ready for interviews except me. Now, what was that one obstacle which was not allowing me to face the interviews? You know, that was the fear of speaking effective English, as I was very weak in this language, which made me worried, thinking about how can I work on that? This question was going on in my mind continuously, again and again, that why me only? Why me only? I took this question to one of the great professors who helped me so many times in my course journey. I went to him. I asked, Professor, I have a problem. Can you help me out? He said, Okay, Sarthak, tell me, what's the problem? I will help you. I explained each and everything to him, and his solution made me realize that I have to learn effective speaking by having a good command on English language. His realization made me took decision to join English speaking classes. Then I started searching for different type of institutes, and finally I joined one of the great English speaking institutes. So the first day when I entered that institute, I saw students sitting and looking at that teacher who was explaining the ways to increase confidence. As sir completed with his knowledge, he called each student to share their point of view on any topic. As time passed by, my turn also came and I went near to that podium. Now imagine for a moment, I am standing here. All the students are facing towards me, looking at me. All the students' eyes are looking at me. I just introduced myself in a very simple way, like this. Good evening, everyone. My name is Sarthak. I'm from Delhi. My purpose is to learn effective English. Thank you. As I ended, within a few seconds, I started listening to the loud sound of claps like this and appreciation that were, wow, so wonderful, amazing, fantastic. These claps and appreciations gave me the confidence to speak more and made me calm, composed, and relaxed. So every day, as I started learning and implementing more in classes, efficiency started coming with months of practice and consistency. Adding to it, whatever my English teacher was telling me, I was following it with true intentions without asking any irrelevant questions. Now, this journey was not so easy for me because my institute was totally in a very different directions. That was 15 kilometers from my college and 20 kilometers from my home. Every morning I wake up, I went to college first, then go to institute to learn effective English, and finally completing my day back to home. Now, it was very challenging time for me to learn effective English, as sometimes I wasn't able to get bus on time. For some days, weather was not my friend. However, there is a burning desire and willpower inside me which created effectiveness in speaking English. Finally, after 1 year of consistency, I started getting that confidence and got a good command on English language. This effectiveness helped me to clear so many interviews of corporate companies, out of which I joined one of the great corporate companies. Okay, so tell me, have you also created effectiveness in any skill like I did? Let's start with you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Oh, yes. Thank you so much, Karthik. And definitely we are also improvising ourselves on the same context. We are improving ourselves every day, and almost everybody here has this common goal to improve their self and their English. So thank you so much. And that was a wonderful, wonderful speech.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's move on. And before we move on, I would like to call upon your evaluator once again and ask her some question. May I please, ma'am?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Swarnalata ma'am, what was your favorite game as a child? And how do you still play that? Except Ludo, for some reason.
Hide and seek.
Sorry?
Hide and seek was my favorite game.
Okay, and when was the last time you played it?
I'm playing it every now and then because I have a 4 years old.
My God, we are all kids only here. We don't need kid it out theme. Everybody is already a kid. That's wonderful, amazing. Great. So let's move on to our next speaker. And let me call upon the evaluator for our speaker 4. Our next evaluator is a former dean and professor at a homeopathic consultancy. And she also provides hospital solutions, and she is a medical coach. She calls herself a jack of all trades more than one, and does not want to limit herself in exploring her interests. She helps others in their career, personality, and health goals. Please welcome TM Dr. Rajeshwari for the next speaker's evaluator role.
Thank you, TM Savan, for the wonderful introduction. Today's my speaker is Toastmaster Bharat Mishra, and the title of his speech is Angry Mr. Sharma.
Ma'am, please introduce the project video.
Yes, and his pathway is persuasive in influence, and the project 1, level 3. And the purpose statement is to develop, enhance his understanding of the steps and strategies to address the conflicts. And I'm eager to listen to him about his experience, about learning about the resolving conflicts. Best wishes to Toastmaster Bharat Mishra.
Okay, so about Bharat. Bharat has a thought. Love others to love yourself. Help others to help yourself. He has recently enrolled in Masters of Psychology and is also learning product management from Duke's University. The title of today's speech for Bharat is Angry Sharma Ji. Angry Sharma Ji, TM Bharat. The stage is all yours.
Just my salad days got over. I started observing that countries, communities, religion, and the two individual, they all have one thing common. There's a conflict. And can we imagine our life without conflict? Well, never. Even if you go to the remote island, your mind will be in a conflict. Then what is the ultimate solution for any conflict? Like, even if you see two loving people, husband and wife, they have some point of time, some kind of conflict. So here is something which is called the rule, the strategy of positive action. And what is positive action? Let's just take an example and try to understand it. It's quite common for our flights to get delayed. And I know how annoying it is when we got to hear that, hey, your flight is delayed. So here is Mr. Sarmari, whose flight got delayed, and he has an important meeting to attend. Now, there are some people, when any time this kind of incident happens, they take it in their heart and take it to the extreme levels. And similarly with the Sarmaji, he just went to the counter and started shouting on this beautiful young lady. Like, do you guys even know how important meeting I'm gonna miss? What a pathetic service you have. I'm never gonna book any flight from this airline. Call your manager. I just want to talk to him. Now, just this scene over, the next gentleman, Mr. Verma, came to the counter. Now, this young lady again gonna get a blow. But this time, surprisingly, Mr. Verma says, great, awesome. Now, Mr. Sarma, who is already on his anger, pinnacle of his anger, saying, have you lost it? Like C is saying our flight is delayed and you are saying great, awesome, cool. What kind of person you are? Now, Verma ji gently replied, see, Mr. Sharma, our flight get delayed could be because of 3 reasons. Now, number 1, there could be some technical issues. And if there's some technical issue, I don't want to board in a flight which has some technical issue. Number 2, the pilot has not arrived yet. And now, if the pilot has not arrived yet, I don't want to board a flight which is flight by someone else. The third, which is actually a reason you can see outside, that weather conditions are bad. Now, if there's a weather condition which is bad, that's not good for us. Like, I would rather reaching late rather than not reaching to my destination. Now, here are 3 things which we can learn from this story. Number 1, separate yourself from the problem. When you separate yourself from the problem, you actually see problem with a different lens. And you can literally find the root cause of a problem. Number 2, communicate well. Now, communication is a very important thing. Like, if you don't express yourself, how people will know what is your feeling? Like, I heard someone saying that I and my wife, we don't have any conflict. She does what she want, and I do what she want me to do. Hope you understand the importance of communicating well. Now, communicating well is not gaming others. You have to communicate in such a way that you care about others and understand them. The third point which we learn from the story is try to find out root cause of a problem and eliminate it. Like, any problem starts with some root cause. And if you find it and if you just eliminate it, the problem will not arise again. Now, going through the Pathway project, I learned a different sort of things, different videos. I searched myself, what is conflict, got depth understanding of conflict, and find these 3 pointers to resolve a conflict. Now, if you want to dive more in conflict and you want to understand beside your Pathway project, you can watch this web series, which is quite popular among youngsters, which is called Big Boss. Now, this is not my recommendation. Don't take it as a recommendation. I am just saying, if you want to understand the conflict. Now, these are the way how I manage conflict. The 3 pointers which I told you, always remember that. What is your way to dealing with conflict, my dear Toastmaster of the day?
Thank you so much, Badar. And it's about the conflict management. I totally see your product management thing working from the Duke's University. You're totally getting into the root causes. Huh? Well done. Thank you so much, Bharat. This was amazing and wonderful. Okay, so before we move ahead, a quick question to all of you. How many of you have filled slam books in your childhood? Maybe, I don't know if somebody is there from 2000s, he might not have. Okay, and how many of you are doing what you had written in your slam book, that you'll become an astronaut or something in the future? Hands up, anybody? Okay, we do have a lot of people. Kudos to all of you, and those who have not achieved, like me. Of course, I do not think that I can become a doctor, an actor, a policeman, or a scientist and everything, because I'm an IT professional. I cannot go back doing those things. But definitely recall yourself what you used to do and what you're not doing in the visible aspects of what you can do, so that you can bring out your inner child. And now it's time for our last speech for the day. Let's move on to speaker 5. And let me call upon the evaluator for our speaker 5 before we actually get him. So our evaluator for speaker 5 is a spoken English trainer and an active Toastmaster. She wants to share her knowledge and learn from others too. She believes that knowledge shared is knowledge doubled. If you're still in doubt who she is, she's better known to be the queen of queen of table topics in our club. So by now, I'm sure you have already known her. Please welcome TM Uma Natraj, ma'am, for evaluating speaker 5.
Thank you, TM Modi. Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Today, my speaker is Toastmaster Aanchal Singh. A very warm welcome to Aanchal Singh after a long time. After his icebreaker speech, he's going to give his level 1, the first speech after icebreaker speech. And the title of the speech is The Power of Opportunity. Pathway is Persuasive Influence. Speech length is 5 to 7 minutes. The purpose of the project is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. Wishing you all the very best, Aanchal Singh.
Okay, so let me introduce Aanchal to our club meeting, and since there are a lot of guests as well. So Aanchal is a really sweet person. He hails from the hills of Himachal and is probably the youngest among all of us here. So, and of course, he's always ready to learn more. Additionally, he is right now the VPPR of our club. Please welcome TM Aanchal Singh with the title, The Power of Opportunity. The Power of Opportunity, TM Aanchal Singh. The stage is all yours.
This speech took 7 years to make. And for the first time ever, I just want to share it with you because I think it can help of opportunity. The story that went from being a village kid to getting into a Navodaya school in Shimla. And trust me, this is not a normal story. Almost 7 years ago, actually, I grew up in mountains. And if you come from that background, you don't get many opportunities. You are stuck in mountains like forever and hoping that one day you can succeed in your life. I just need a little bit of help. And 7 years ago, someone helped me. A North Indian man from Shimla named Parsa was invited by my English teacher to our classroom to teach English for just 1 hour. And he came that day, and after that, for 1 year, he came back again and again and again. And when he walked through that door to my classroom, he was the first humble and educated North Indian man, I can say, I ever met in my life. Immediately, I fell in love with his family and his daughters too. And we became Facebook buddies. And a few months later of text exchanges, Parsa invited me to their family home. He said, Aanchal, hey, we know that you like Shimla. Why don't you come and visit us? We will take care of everything, all your expenses for a week. And a North Indian family, I can say, invited a village kid to their home. And I was free to go and explore the destination there. After 1 week, exactly 1 week, I was on a bus from my village to another village called Kufri Shimla. And they hosted me for the stay 1 week. Eventually, when I lived there, I fell in love with their culture and I loved that how they treated me. And one day, the Parsa gave me another opportunity. He said that I should go and visit Navodaya. At that time, I don't know that what Navodaya was, that am I able to go there or, but at that time, the Parsa didn't listen to me. He drove me from Kufri to Thiog to meet his sons who are a student at Navodaya at that time. And when I landed on that campus, it was like a new word for me. I was shocked. But at that time, the people, the student, the teachers, all the teachers were there. They were like just normal people. They were like you and me. And that thing inspired me. Immediately, I reached back home and bought many books and started to learn about the things which can get me the admission to Navodaya. And after that, I improved my English and studied and studied and studied. A few months later, I applied to Navodaya, and to my surprise, Navodaya accepted my admission. And they gave me a full scholarship to study there. And exactly 1 year after, when I visited Parsa's family 1 year before, I was heading back to Shimla, but this time not as a tourist or a stranger, but this time as a Navodaya student. I got into Navodaya, made a lot of friends, and I passed out with a Navodaya stamp on my back. I then went to Chandigarh, started to learn design, created design, visited around many cities, and connected to hundreds of people. At that time, I wasn't able to think that why Parsa gave me that opportunity. Why he invited me and hosted me for 1 week in their home. And I don't know why he said that I should go to Navodaya. But at that time, the village kid in me just needed that one opportunity. I needed someone to help me to open that door just a little bit to show me the light. And I'm glad that someone did that for me. I don't know why all the things that happen are like destiny for me. I can say a luck. But I do know this, that if you want to change someone's life, you just don't need to build like buildings, big companies, or invent new things. You just need to give them a simple advice, support, or love, money, whatever you can. And your opportunity can change someone's life forever. Thank you and see you next week. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you so much, Uncle, and a big round of applause. After a long back, you have taken up, and welcome back once again. I would say to you also, because and we expect that you come forward with a lot of speeches in times to come. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, and thank you, ma'am, for wishing me.
Definitely. So it's time now for the next section of our meeting, which is the evaluation section. And may I please call upon our general evaluator to take it up.
Okay, let's give it up for, well, all the speeches, the Toastmaster of the day. I mean, I think right now the fact that me and Yogeshwari are just here, we were just exchanging that the standard and quality of this particular meeting. I'm sure it's going to be remembered by all of us. It's just next level. So I think there's some kind of a link that has been posted. I'm assuming it's the link for the best speaker. So please do hop in and vote for your best speaker, as I will just, although it's a very, very difficult choice, I can understand, but still we're gonna make sure that, well, I just need a little breather, honestly, because after what we've just witnessed, it's well, time for the evaluation section. And in the evaluation section, we're going to bring up first the evaluators to evaluate all our respective speeches. And I'm sure I've made a lot of notes. Our evaluators also must have made a lot of notes. To evaluate our first speaker, Toastmaster Karthik Kumar, presenting his icebreaker speech, let me invite Toastmaster Satya Narayan to present his evaluation Toastmaster Satya, the virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you, General Evaluator. It was an amazing speech when you consider that it is his icebreaker speech. The entire speech was filled with surprises. It was a very confident start, as if I can't use that it is somebody who is new to Toastmasters. The best part of the speech, he used Google like a character in his speech. It was a very strong storyline, started with a childhood experience. We use it very frequently. That is very strong point. I really appreciate it for this beautiful use. It has a very clear expression of the entire journey as a speaker. And there are so many good things, but the very the thing which really inspired me and really made a mark on me as a evaluator is the clarity of the speech, clarity of the words you have used, confident, crisp and clear. Apart from all these good points, there are few things which I don't I'm not very worry about, but he'll definitely give it a thought in his next speech. Is about pronunciation of few words. I think it is the stage fear which we all come across during our first speech. So it's a consideration for him. And the thing which I'll challenge Karthik, he is a very powerful speaker. He will bring more confidence with lot of body movement and little bit of vocal variety, which will make his speech beautiful to listen. So that's it from me for this amazing icebreaker speech from Karthik. Best of luck. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you so much. Let's give it up for Satya sir, everybody. Well, I'm going to reserve my comments as of now because we have an evaluator evaluating Satya sir. So before I bring her up, what I would love for you all to do, listen, this is very important. There are a lot of members here right now, 23 of us. What I would love for you all to do, take out your cell phones or take out your fingers and start typing. Every single time a speaker is being evaluated, I want you to drop at least one line of commendation and recommendation in the chat for the speaker, for the evaluator, so that we all can participate. Let us all constructively give feedback. That's a section that I want to really include from this particular club meeting onward. So right now, just put up whatever you felt about the speaker, that is Karthik sir, and also Satya sir evaluation. Meanwhile, let me bring up the evaluator who's going to evaluate Satya sir. Let's bring up Yogeshwari. Yogeshwari, the virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator, for this wonderful opportunity. Well, I remember my own salad days when I see Satya sir giving his evaluation. I clearly agree, Satya sir, this is your salad days because this is your first evaluation. So I wanted to keep it very detailed because if I'm not doing it now, I don't think anyone will do it. So let me give my commendation first. The first 3 points that I absolutely loved about your evaluation is you are a sensational observer because you spoke about the clarity of the speaker and also you recommended about the pronunciation of the speaker. So I could understand that you have a keen observation on the speaker as well as his entire speech structure. Number 2, you are so good at motivating a speaker. You are very clear enough or aware, or you have the presence of mind that the speaker is giving his first speech, which is the icebreaker. So you have to motivate the speaker. I love that part. So you said that you don't really feel that it's his first speech and you liked it. Number 3, this, I haven't seen anyone doing it. You have challenged the speaker. So you have challenged the speaker stating that his plus is his body language and vocal variety, and you wanted him to do it more. Now, coming on to my recommendation, number 1, I would like to start from the time when you have introduced the project details of the speaker. So when you are getting the stage from the Toastmaster of the day, number one thing you have to do is greet the Toastmaster of the day. Greet the Toastmasters and specifically your target speaker. Congratulate him for his first icebreaker speech. Number two, read out the project objectives available that is there in the evaluation form, which is very important because it's important for you to know the project objective and the listeners as well as the speaker to confirm the project objective. Number three, encourage your speaker at the beginning that he would do wonders because this is his first speech. Number four, you have to start with a quote or with a line from the speaker's topic. And I was somehow feeling that the structure of the evaluation is missing. So evaluation should be CRC method, which is commendation, recommendation, and commendation. Or you can also make it as CRS method, which is commendation, recommendation, and summarization. So number six, I have that when you are finishing your evaluation, you have to mention whether your speaker has completed the project or not. That is very important. So now, overall, I would like to first of all congratulate you for your first evaluation. You did brilliant, and I also would confirm that you would take up all the suggestions from my end, and you would improve from here on. Thank you so much, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Okay, amazing. Let's give it up for Toastmaster Yogeshwari. That was just sensational, isn't it?
Thank you.
Absolute evaluation masterclass. Okay, brilliant. So before I get into the evaluating the evaluators, this is one particular problem that I observed amongst all the evaluators. So I'm just going to tell you exactly what you're supposed to do. If you are being asked by the Toastmaster of the day to really share your speech objectives, we all have something that is called as the evaluation form, right? Are you all able to see the screen? Give me a thumbs up. Yes. So we all have the evaluation form, and this is what you're supposed to read out. Now, you are not allowed to introduce the speaker's name. Don't do that. That's the TMOD's job. Don't talk about the title of the speech. That's the TMOD's job. Don't do it. Your job is to wish everybody good evening, fellow Toastmasters, future Toastmasters. My job as an my target speaker, good evening as well. Our speaker today is presenting their pathway, project, level, and then you talk about, after introducing all of that, then you talk about the project objectives. So for example, in this case, let's just say after you've introduced all of that, the purpose of this project is for the member to introduce himself or herself to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. This is what you're supposed to read it out. After that, you're supposed to mention to the timer, please note the speech length is 4 to 6 minutes. All the very best, and back to you, the Toastmaster of the day. This is supposed to be the structure whenever you get started. This is what all the evaluators consistently missed out on. So I just wanted to just put it all right at the front. Now, coming to our evaluations, first of all, Toastmaster Yogeshwari, sensational. I love the motivational tone. I love the words that you used, presence of mind, the fact that you captured that our evaluator focused on the challenge the speaker and all that. These are very subtle observations that can enable every evaluator to become far more confident. Now, you are an evaluation champ of our club, so there has to be an absolute perfection every single time you evaluate. But I'm going to actually encourage you to focus on a few very subtle aspects. For example, starting with a quote, ending with a question. What will it do is, it will, as soon as your evaluation is over, it's still going to propel both the speaker, the evaluator, and for the general evaluator as well, the audience, to think deeper after you're done with your evaluation, right? So that was for you. People, I hope you are putting up the messages, okay? We need those feedback from all, right? Includes everybody. Now, coming to Satya sir, sensational. I'm just going to highlight one point each because your evaluator has already mentioned. I love the words. You were confident, crisp, and clear. Now, these are such amazing confidence boosting words. People are going to encourage you to be their evaluator because of these specific words. Phenomenal. Having said that, you have to make sure that you're looking into the lens, sir, because we all want that eye contact. And also, as your evaluator mentioned, picking up snippets of the speech is going to work wonders. Okay, now let's bring up our second, our target speaker, Toastmaster Karthik Kumar, sir. Sensational. I mean, for an icebreaker speech to go through stage choreography, I mean, hats off to you. Seriously, just take a bow, sir. I loved when you're looking at all these different angles. Your hand gestures were sensational. Of course, I'll tell you, sir, your evaluators have mentioned something, but I'm going to give you a very, very small little hack that you can include from your next speech. Smile, no? For all of us. Smile reduces your nervousness. That's going to act like magic for you. Again, I'm saying that because you have a phenomenal smile. I hope everybody agrees with me on that. Yes, phenomenal. Okay, now let's bring up our second evaluator to evaluate Toastmaster Savan, my most favorite, who's really looking very gorgeous today. Let's give it up for Toastmaster Navamita. Okay, where is Toastmaster Navamita? Yeah, okay, yes.
I'm here.
The virtual podium is all yours.
Okay, thank you. So my target speaker, Toastmaster Savan Arora, what a sensational speech you have delivered today. And after completion of your speech, the different kind of appreciative messages had shown that they appreciated your speech. That was the most recommendation part. And I would definitely say that 3 things which attracted my mind and hooked me, that 3 points I have to say. Number 1 is you're starting with the quote, where there is a way, there is a will, there is a way, and ending with the line, wonderful line, life is either daring adventure or nothing at all. It was really resonating your whole story. I love that. Second thing is your hand gesture, your body language was excellent, where you wanted to show that car broke. Okay, say handbrake, accelerate, jaw down. You have wonderfully represented by your body gestures, which was actually your project demanding. As well as one another thing I would definitely appreciate you, the creativity part of your adding your background. The moment you were speaking, at the same time, that same scenario was showing behind you, and that is the proof of your non-verbal communication. And it was also fulfilling your project. Wonderful. Kudos to you. And number 3 part is you mentioned each and every date, time, 12:30 afternoon to 11:30 night. You were stuck. You have started journey 2022. You are going to Manali to Sheshu, and this distance was 6 kilometers. These are the very important part in our story. Whenever we are telling our personal story, these are the part of engaging the audience. They are totally engaged with your story. These are the wonderful things. But I believe few pinches of salt, if we are adding in the food, it will make a nice food, right? So I would like to give you a few suggestions. That is, if you will work with your vocal tonality and facial expression when you are feeling very scared, fearful, and somewhere you are feeling very irritating. Okay, so that time somewhere I missed your voice tonality, vocal tone, and your facial expression as well. And the second part was, I think somewhere you just completed the story very shortly. You are a very creative person. You can add more humor and drama in your story, which can be more engaging for the audience. Okay, so that will upscale you from base to great speaker, you know. And to summarize, I would say that your speech was brilliant in respect of your quote, in respect of your fulfilling your project, and the perfect timing and date, everything mentioned. To make it magical, whimsical, you can add some vocal tonality and voice modulation, as well as some drama in your speech. So I would hope you will add that in your next speech, and I will be encountered with your great speech. Thank you. Kudos to you. Thank you very much.
Amazing. Let's give it up for Navamita, ma'am. Everybody, wonderful. This is like next level. Seriously. I mean, what else can a general evaluator literally hope for, isn't it? When the evaluators are shining so bright. I mean, before we come to Savan, Toastmaster Navamita, I mean, I loved the powerful start. What a sensational speech. Instantly, you took the energy completely at a high state. Sensational. People, I hope you're observing, okay? This was literally like an evaluation masterclass. 3 commendations, 3 recommendations, at the end summarizing all the 3 points and ending within 3.5 minutes. Sensational, Navamita ma'am. We love you. I hope you all observed the little things she observed in the speaker's speech. No elements of taking up quotes, beginning and end quote. Of course, she meant. Oh, I love this metaphor. Few pinches of salt for the recommendations. Too good, too good. I'll just have one recommendation for you, Navamita ma'am. Just like you added this pinches of salt metaphor for the recommendations, I was expecting that your start and end can also be like a metaphor, metaphorize the entire process. Meaning, you could have told Savan that if you incorporate all these suggestions, just keeping his title in mind. For example, wait, I'll just give you a very quick example. If you keep all these recommendations intact, the next time you walk in the snow, your tire is not going to stay stuck. See, something creative, right? And that's what really gives you that added elements in terms of marking, especially if you're participating in a contest. Okay. And I'm just being a little extra critical because I know your capability. Sensational. Now coming to Toastmaster Savan, I mean, what do I even say? I mean, it's just crazy. Hand gestures, energy in the voice modulation, especially at 20-30 minutes, it'll get over now. It's crazy. I mean, you literally walked us through a literal movie, 5 to 7 minutes. Sensational. I love the messages also that you gave all throughout, as your evaluator pointed out. But since you are such an amazing speaker, I'm going to be a little observant in terms of the ways that you can work on. You see, this is a very subtle one, but an important one. The way you throw your voice. Okay, so you have this pattern. We had to stop during traffic. This is how you speak at times. You getting the idea? So what happens is it creates a kind of a monotony at times from the audience's perspective. The second would be the power of pauses. I mean, when you said, Savan, if you don't drive today, you will never be able to. Then you follow your speech after that little pause. And of course, this is a very important one in terms of, now, again, this speech is related to your body language, right? And since it is related to your body language, I'm going to talk to you about a very important body crutch that you have at times. You end up clapping. And what happens is, for me, as let's just say if I'm a judge right now I'm an evaluator, but let's just say in the contest I'm a judge, this happens to be a body crutch that can definitely reduce your points. But again, this is just my observation. I mean, I just wanted to let you know of that. Perfect. Amazing. Right. Now let's move on to our third evaluator to evaluate Toastmaster Sarthak. Let's bring up Toastmaster Swarnalata. Swarnalata ma'am, the virtual podium is all yours.
Toastmaster Sarthak Arora, your speech reminded me of a quote. Investing in your own self-growth and development isn't selfish, it is self-care. 3 things that stood out to me. When you opened with there is something common between all of us, you captured the 30 seconds of attention of all your audience, followed by questioning, like, how many of you agree with me? And ending with a bang, what is the critical skill did you choose? So that really stood out to me. Second, your stage choreography. Although you had a very small dialogues, but still you made it a point to give a characterization to your professor who told you, Sarthak, all you have to do is learn new skills. So that really stood out to me. The third and the most important is the personal story. Personal stories are a means through which you transform the audience from where they are to where you want them to be. Your story had a setup, struggle, and success. So that literally resonated with each one of us when we initially struggled with the language English. Having said this, every journey needs a GPS, isn't it? A pointer. So here are my pointers for you. Somehow I felt you are constrained in your body language. Although you are very comfortable and confident, but somehow your body language is still very strict, and it showed as if you're not comfortable with your speech. And the second thing was lots of hand movements, which was very good, but lots of closed palm hand movements. There were very few instances where you opened up and showed the audience that I'm trying to connect with you. So if you could just work on that. And the third, although it was a personal story, we could not connect to a struggle. Why? If you would have told the institute was 20 kilometers away from my house. And given that pause, when we as an audience would have emphasized, oh my God, 20 kilometers, but you didn't use the power of pauses. Had that pauses been placed here and there, your speech would have resonated with each one of us. In summary, you had a very good speech structure, a good usage, choreography of the stage, and a personal story that resonated with all. If you could just take care of your body language and be comfortable, open hand gestures, and just be as you are. And I'm so happy that I knew little secret of your journey towards the life and to be part of it. How about you, Toastmaster of the Day? Sorry, General Evaluator.
Let's give it up for Toastmaster Swarnalata, everybody. I mean, seriously, this is why she is such an enigmatic evaluator, okay? I've observed this about Swarnalata ma'am. She will either be the second or the third evaluator. And in case the general evaluator is already mentioning a few pointers, she'll straight away incorporate it in her evaluation and it's going to work like magic. Too good, too good. I mean, sensational. You had a quote, you ended with a question. You did falter a little bit whether you're going to throw it to Toastmaster of the Day. I'm sure Savan must have got a heart attack, but nevertheless, the hand gestures were sensational. And how many people here observed that when Swarnalata ma'am was presenting the recommendation, she was actually demonstrating the recommendations. And that obviously takes you a couple of notches higher in terms of your evaluation, because your speaker is going to witness you and then incorporate the same. I mean, I'm feeling a little envious about you, Toastmaster Sarthak, because you got such a phenomenal demonstration. Here are, again, of course, I love the metaphor. No? Every journey needs a GPS to guide into your entire recommendations as well. Sensational, too good. Again, if there are two things that I want you to work on, Swarnalata ma'am, this again, I'm being a little extra critical, okay? The first would be, obviously, you don't introduce the speaker, okay? Don't take the name, don't take the thing, and obviously that is there. This is another very big one. I'm sure you'll agree with me on this. You do start with a quote, but for you, it takes somewhere around the first 5 to 10 seconds to get yourself into the groove of your evaluation. I'm talking about the flow. The initial start is always a little little shaky, little nervousness, little bit of, okay, I'm slowly there, getting there. And the only way that you can correct that is even before you start evaluating, just take a deep breath in, calm yourself down, and then start with your usual energy with that quote. What I felt is that it slowly raised up. It took 0 to 5 seconds. And then it had a nice little energy flow. Okay, so this is a very subtle observation, but I hope you're going to take that hands on. Amazing. Thank you so much, Swarnalata ma'am. Now coming to Toastmaster Sarthak. I mean, secrets of becoming effective in English, such a sensational speech. I mean, I was just expecting probably another English masterclass, but you literally took us through your personal stories masterclass. I loved it. You had a powerful start. You included all the elements of public speaking. You included role play, stage choreography, hand gestures, audience interactions, sensation. But here are again, as your evaluator has mentioned, I'm going to actually dive deep a little bit more, and I'm going to focus on two very critical elements of public speaking, again, because you are such a phenomenal speaker. Number one, expressions. When you are happy, you're supposed to smile, your face should beam. Or when you are sad, you need to feel that low. Now, you had the powerful voice, but your expressions at times were not matching what you were trying to portray to the audience. That's first. Number two, this will be another very interesting one. See, every speech has punctuations. Comma is a small pause. Semicolon is a longer pause. Exclamation mark is when you're really stamping your authority, you see? So every time as you are preparing your speech and practicing, practice the speech along with the punctuations. Punctuations are through your voice and through your expressions. So it's like a triangle. Your punctuation, your voice, and your expressions work hand in hand. That's another very big one. And of course, the last one, somehow I felt that, I think this is a point that your evaluator should have mentioned, I felt. That is, there were too many stories in your speech, which made the ending a little abrupt. And at the end, you just asked a question, but then you gave us a little hook about your corporate life and stuff, which could have been avoided, is what I felt. But I hope that was a powerful one. Okay, great. Moving to speaker number 4. I'm really excited for this one. Let's bring up Toastmaster Dr. Rajeshwari to evaluate Toastmaster Bharat. Okay, yeah, yes, that is Rajeshwari, ma'am. Over to you, ma'am.
10% of conflicts are due to difference in opinion and 90% are due to wrong tone of voice. I hope everybody agrees with this. My speaker, wonderful. His story and the way he explained the things, it started with of a story, conflict between husband and wife, all this kept me hooked till the end. I just remembered my salad days when I really freaked out whenever their conflicts happened. And still, I am a peacemonger. The story has started with the husband and wife conflict, and then he continued with the Mr. Sharma, who was boiling and the chilled out Mr. Verma. The way he compared with the conversation, that was wonderful. Finally, he also explained about the 3 learnings. That is, separate out from the problem. Then you can view what exactly is the problem. If you are in the problem, you'll never be able to understand. Second thing, communicate well and express your feelings. Third point he mentioned was find the root cause of the problem. Well explained the learnings. I could see from your speech, all the stories which you mentioned were observational. A little bit of personal experience, if you would have added into it, that would have worked wonders. Another thing, when you did the conversation of Mr. Sharma and Mr. Verma, you could have added a little bit of spice to it. And the tonality, while you were putting up the dialogues, that would have given an extraordinary effect. Finally, coming to the whole of the speech, it engaged the audience very well. The vocal variety, you could have added a little bit of vocal variety in a dramatical way. Eye contact was perfect. And the gestures, coming to the gestures, they were perfect. But one thing I noted was you were in between the speech, you were just stooping around with your hands in the front in this way. If you could have noted, perform in front of a mirror and find out the posture of your body. That one just thing which you could have improved. The comfort level was absolutely fine. And you kept the audience hooked throughout the speech. And the topic was very relevant. So to sum up with the evaluation of the speech, it was a wonderful speech and you achieved the purpose of the speech too. So over to you, GE, General Evaluator. What do you think about this?
I surely think that you did a sensational job. Let's give it up for Rajeshwari, ma'am. This is too good, too good. I remember I have to first of all applaud because this is important that I mentioned this. The last time Rajeshwari ma'am took up the evaluation, she was given a truckload of recommendations and she's actually worked upon the recommendations. How many of you were able to connect with the fact that she expressed herself in the evaluation? Like that is such a critical element. How did I feel when I went through your speech? And she mentioned the words kept me hooked. So true. Absolutely apt. She had commendations. She had recommendations. She most importantly gave a very important suggestion, not just to the target speaker, but for us all. If you want to know more about how your body language is going through, record a video and then perform and then rewatch it. You're going to get to know all about your body language. It's too good, Rajeshwari ma'am. Now coming to the one small recommendation that I have, that is with respect to the structure of your evaluation. So you start with a quote, which you exactly did, and then straight away hop into the 3 things that you have liked in the speech. Now, I know there are a lot of amazing elements, but you need to pick up the 3 topmost things that you write. So what you can do is, as you're making the notes during the speech, you're making, let's just say 7 or 8 notes, pick up the top 3 and just talk a little detail about the top 3. Same for the recommendations as well, right? So here in the evaluation, it was a little I would say a little here and there, but that can definitely be worked upon. I love the fact that you ended with a question. What do you think, General Evaluate? I love that. Love that. Okay, amazing. Now, as all the chat people, please do keep putting up the chat. What are your feedback on all the things that is coming up, whether it's speech, evaluation, and all that? As we all know, this is literally like a masterclass going on. Okay, coming to Toastmaster Bharat, salute to your title. This is another very important point that the evaluators want to work upon. Focusing on the title and really starting your evaluation with something related to the title. It'll be like, just power start. Sensational title. I love the way you use the props, the 2 pens to begin with, but I was expecting that you're going to use a little more. You are a champion when it comes to metaphors. Comparing 2 angry people with the 2 pens, sensational. What a pathetic service you have. Voice modulation, too good. Okay. There were these added touch of humor as well. I don't want to travel in a flight flown by someone other than the pilot. I was in splits, seriously. And then you connected conflicts to a big boss. Big boss. Hats off, too good. Okay. Now your stage choreography, body language was next level. Too good. Now, I want you to work on these little aspects, Toastmaster Bharat. The first would be, let's just say, you can see my screen right now, right? It's horizontal mode. Now, your phone, I'm sure you must be presenting a speech. Your phone was in this particular vertical format. Had you put it in horizontal format, you would have had more stage space to play around. And in that case, your hands would not get chopped off. That would be the first one. Number 2, eye contact. I noticed that you were looking at the camera, but at times you were looking a little here and there. So here and there, as in not really exactly at the lens. So look at the lens right here as I'm looking right now. Number 3, there is this issue. There's this little thing called as phonetics. That's a very important word for all of us. Phonetics. The way you pronounce the words. I'm sure your grammarian is going to shower more light on that. But I really want you to work on the words where you feel the phonetics are going a little here and there. We do not want such a phenomenal speech to get a little, the audience to get a little distracted because of a lack of phonetics. And here's the last one. The ending was a little abrupt, I felt. You ended with, how do you deal with conflicts? Let's start with you, Toastmaster of the day. I was expecting a proper loop, proper looping ending that would have definitely added another flavor altogether. But sensational, Bharat. I'm somehow feeling that this is the best speech that you've presented so far, and the only way that you're going to go is up from here. Sensational. Okay, finally, our last evaluator. Let's bring up Toastmaster Uma Nataraj to evaluate Toastmaster Anchal. Uma ma'am, the virtual podium is all yours. You're looking absolutely gorgeous, by the way. Yeah.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Opportunity knocks only once at your door. And I, for one, grab any opportunity that comes to me. The topic instantly connected with me, the power of opportunity. Anchal Singh, you connected with me and the audience immediately with the topic. Yes. The second point I want to say is the speech looked like a motivational speech. The beginning sentence that said the speech took me 7 years back to make the speech immediately made me curious. What is this? And then the story fascinated me, the 3S method which you used. That is setup, struggle, and success. Everything was there in the story. The way he took us from his salad days of the village to the person who invited him to Shimla. Later, they became good friends on Facebook, and the person asked him to join Navodaya to improve language fluency. I wish I had studied in Navodaya. That is what I felt, the way he described about the Navodaya school. And then there was a twist in the story saying that he almost went for the second time to Shimla, and not as a tourist, but a person who had joined Navodaya school and had improved. That really engrossed me and made me wish that I had known more about Navodaya school. And kudos to you for that. And then the takeaway message was there. That is number 3, where the opportunity was converted into success. Like he wanted to join Navodaya, improve his fluency, and he did that. So the takeaway message also was there. Now, coming to the recommendations. It would have been great if you had used some voice modulation. For example, when you got a seat in Navodaya, how happy you would have been. Huh? Those 7 years you waited, and wow, I got a seat in Navodaya. If you had expressed that, that would have been great. And the second one, the camera angle. It could have been better so that we could have seen your hand gestures more. And the hand gestures were just coming like this. That's all. Your hand was just moving, but there was no something which was impressive. Like if you had shown your open hand gestures or something like that, it would have been better. And then the call for action could have ended as a question saying, I have used my opportunity. How about you? No, that would have made the message very clear. To summarize, after your icebreaker speech, this was sensational, I should say. You have come back. I want you to continue this and keep up your tempo. Only for some language improvement and voice modulation and expression, it would have been great. Give a takeaway message or the call for action should be reiterated. That's all. I have used the opportunity as an evaluator. How about you, G?
I'm completely blown away, Uma ma'am. This is too good, too good, too good. Okay, sensational. That was like outstanding, Uma ma'am. I mean, before I really come up to the evaluation once again, I just want a quick thumbs up from our timer, Vivek sir. Sir, do we have all the evaluators on time? Yes, thank you so much. I would request our the Zoom master to just launch the poll for our best evaluator. Poll, please do click and choose who is your best evaluator. I know it's going to be a very, very difficult. I mean, today's polling, I'm sure we are just going to have a lot of difficulty. Who is it going to be? I mean, very, very challenging. But of course, you got to make the best choice, right? Now, coming to the evaluations with respect to, first I'll evaluate Uma ma'am. So Uma ma'am, as you know, started with a quote, ended with a question, 3 commendations, 3 recommendations, power packed with energy, lot of expressions, lot of demonstrations, too good. Phenomenally done. She was also on time. And also I love this whole thing that she connected the quote with the title of the speech, which was wonderfully done. Now, only I will have 3 recommendations for Uma ma'am. First would be the eye contact. So when you're looking up, instead of looking up to the speaker, which I am right now, for example, I'm looking at you, but you will see that I'm looking at the side, right? So you have to look at the lens. That would be the first. Number 2 is, because you're holding the pen, I somehow felt it was restricting your hand gestures. So you might as well just keep the pen down as well. Number 3 would be, we need specifics with respect to evaluation. So 3 things that I loved about your speech, 3 areas that I want you to work on. Okay, so numbers makes it easier for, let's just say, if you're participating in a contest, it becomes easier for the judges to evaluate you. So that would be the only thing. But Uma ma'am, I mean, I'm sure this is one of your best evaluations ever. I mean, I really learned a lot. Okay, whew, now coming to Toastmaster Anchal Singh, sensational. I mean, back after such a long time, your evaluator has already mentioned everything. I want to, yeah, I love the ending. I mean, I have to applaud you for the ending. Life gives you opportunities. I took mine. You modulated your voice. You got it a little lower, which means we were. I felt a little emotional as you were as you ended your speech. I just felt it could have gone a little longer. Sensational. Of course, I want to just reiterate what Uma ma'am just could not mention because of the paucity of time. First would be, again, your eye contact, looking into the lens. That is very important. Number 2 would be just improve your energy a little bit. If your evaluator can be this energetic, you can sure bring in some more energy, right? Some more power as you are presenting your speech. And this is another very important one, Anchal Singh. You used and 37 times. And you used but 21 times. Now, I know this is the job of the R counter, but the only reason that I, as a GE, was putting all these things, the numbers down, because I want you to know that your fillers are going to take the attention of the audience away from your speech. How do you replace fillers? Add pauses. Just add pauses. Every single time you want to say and, don't say and, just pause. That's going to help you grow for sure. Okay, that would be all. So Okay, that was our masterclass of speeches followed by evaluations. What I would want you to do, drop out one word on how this entire experience has been so far. Okay, drop it into the chat. Meanwhile, let me evaluate the meeting as a whole. So the Sergeant at Arms started the meeting hopefully on time, and she has read all the rules. I'm sure she must have. The presiding officer was late. You're not allowed to be late if you're the presiding officer. Pani puri you want to have some other day. Have it earlier, not done. Anyways, when the presiding officer come, general evaluator started attending the meeting. The Toastmasters of the day had already started his entire address, and he wonderfully mentioned what the Toastmasters meeting is all about. He also started making sure that the audience feel comfortable, which is sensational. Of course, I love the childlike traits. I love the interaction. And as we all know, every single time Toastmaster Savan takes up the Toastmaster of the day, do we really have any complaints? I mean, he just takes it to that next level, and he set the bar so high for all of us to follow through. It was pitch perfect. A very important thing I would like to reiterate, that is, it's very difficult for the Toastmaster of the day to follow the agenda. And you've done that magically, keeping your theme intact. So I'm going to give you a huge round of applause for that. The fact that I attended another meeting in the afternoon, they just delayed it over and over again. It's crazy. Okay. Wait, I'm just missing out my tag team, am I? Yeah, I am. Let's bring up our tag team, and then we'll evaluate everybody together. As the timer of the day, who did a stellar job today, let's invite Toastmaster Vivek after a long line. Let's give it up for Vivek, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, General Evaluator. So I'd like to present my report for timer of the day. And I'll just, please allow me to share my screen. So first of all, I'd like to congratulate Karthik sir for his icebreaker speech. And his time limit was 4 to 6 minutes. And his speech duration was 5 minutes 19 seconds. So he was well within the time. Our speaker number 2, Savan, his speech title was Walk in the Snow. His speech duration was 6 minutes 32 seconds. And that's within the time limit. Speaker number 3, Sarthak Arora. His speech title was Secret of Becoming Effective in English. Speech duration 6 minutes 46 seconds. So that's within the time range. Toastmaster Bharat, his speech title, as we know, Angry Sharma Ji. Speech duration was 5 minutes 46 seconds. That's within the time limit. Toastmaster Achal Singh, The Power of Opportunity. Speech duration 6 minutes 23 seconds. And his speech was within the time limit. Evaluator of speaker number 1, Toastmaster Satyanarayan. His evaluation duration was 2 minutes 3 seconds. So that's within the time range. Evaluator 1, Satyanarayan, that was Toastmaster Yogeshwari. Her time evaluation duration was 3 minutes 8 seconds. So that's within the time range with a grace in the grace period. Evaluator of speaker 2, Navamita Sarkar ma'am. Her evaluation duration was 3 minutes 14 seconds. That's within the time range. Evaluator of speaker 3, Swarnalata ma'am. Evaluation duration was 2 minutes 50 seconds. So that's within the range. Evaluator of speaker number 4, Toastmaster Dr. Rajeshwari ma'am. Her evaluation duration was 3 minutes 12 seconds. So that's within the grace period. And evaluator of speaker number 5, Achal Singh, Toastmaster Upma Natraj ma'am. Her evaluation duration was 3 minutes 5 seconds. So that's within the range. And yes, so all the speakers and all the evaluators did qualify for on the timer basis. And all the speakers and evaluators were wonderful today. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Vivek, sir. My God, someone really preparing this hard for the timer's role with such precision. I mean, we have to just applaud him, because I mean, I would want you all to just unmute and applaud, because literally, I'll tell you, the timer's role is something that is not really, it's like the silent dark horse, yet it is the most important role, at least according to me. Too good, Vivek, sir. I mean, we're going to make sure that you are getting a speech slot for sure. We want to see you in the World Champion of Public Speaking, and we want to get you there, finishing your level 2. So amazingly done. So good to have you today once again. Phenomenal, phenomenal. Okay. Now, straight away, just one point of recommendation, Vivek sir, is that when you are sharing the screen, it's better if you can hide the time. That's the only recommendation. So what you can do is, as the timer card is going on in Google, simultaneously you can have a PPT ready, just including the 3 cards. As soon as the timer card shows green, you can actually show the PPT instead of the timers, the Google card. That's the only recommendation, but otherwise sensational. I mean, we have a very big chance that you might just win the auxiliary role play of the day. Okay, let's bring up the counter of this evening. Let me invite Toastmaster Swarnalata ma'am. Please share your report to us. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Let me just share my screen.
I think we lost Swarnalata ma'am. She got disconnected.
Swarnalata ma'am, what we will do is, I think we're having some connectivity issue. We are just going to get back to you. Okay. Meanwhile, let's just have the grammarians report. We are not able to hear you properly. I hope that's okay. So I'm just going to, Swarnalata ma'am is going to be back, I'm sure, with us. Just one second. Yeah, there you go. Okay. So it's also another good one, because once she comes back, she can also evaluate the ahs and ums of the grammarian. And in fact, this is also another very important thing I want to reiterate, that ideally it's the grammarian who's supposed to present the report first. And the ah counter is supposed to be at the last, because the grammarian need not get saved every time, right? So moving to the grammarian's report, let's bring in Toastmaster Yogeshwari. So Toastmaster Yogeshwari, could you please share your report with us? I'll just bring you up. Yeah, there you go. Over to you.
Thank you so much, General Evaluator. And let me quickly share my screen for today. And before that, I would just like to say that today's meeting, I felt as if I am taken back to my salad days, where my English teacher would feel in the cloud 9 when we are using sensational English. Yes, today I was so happy to make note of such a big list of good usages, as well as really I had a lot of people who used the word of the day as well. So let me quickly share my screen. Here it is. I would like to first start with applauding speakers who use the word of the day. So first of all, Toastmaster Dr. Suryadeep used the word of the day. Are we stuck? Okay.
See the screen, I think.
Am I audible?
Yep.
Am I audible? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Visible.
Okay. So the word of the day is used by 5 of the speakers. To start with, Toastmaster Suryadeep and Toastmaster Bharat. I myself used it thrice. And Toastmaster Rajeshwari Rapata, Toastmaster Uma Nataraj. Let's all unmute ourselves and give a huge, oh, I missed my mentee, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Savan Arora. Okay. Okay, huge round of applause. Thank you so much. I really love you guys. Now, moving to the good usages of language. My God, I have such a huge list. Let me just take one by one. To start with, our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Savan Arora. The list of words used are renowned, enthusiastic, silver wagoner, walk in the snow, frozen waterfall, sigh of relief, in my rescue operation, huge risk of avalanche. Life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all, except Ludo. For some reason, I would like to mention that this is a wit, humor, which is a figure of speech. Jack of all trades, which is a metaphor. Knowledge shared is knowledge doubled, hails from the hills of Himachal. That's a sensational use of language. Moving forward to our other speaker, who is Toastmaster Bharat Mishra. Conflict, remote village, sorry, that's remote village, mind in conflict, pinnacle of anger with different lenses, resolve, conflict. And then moving forward, Toastmaster Anchal, this takes 7 years to make, destination, hosted, fell in love with their culture. He drove me, to my surprise, heading back, Navodaya stamp on my back. I love the last one because it's a kind of a phrase that you use stating that you are indirectly emphasizing that you have a certificate or a recognition with you. And moving forward, Toastmaster Dr. Suryadeep, who played multiple roles, to start with his favorite word, phenomenal. And then he went forward with metaphorizing, power of pause, body crutch, demonstration, into the groove, subtle, energy flow, role play, phase should beam. I was in splits. So I was in splits just to explain what it is. He laughed it out so much that he split it apart. Okay. And then state space, applaud, modulated your voice, reiterate, stellar job, precision. So precision is very sharp and to the point, the meaning of that word. And then moving forward to our evaluator, Toastmaster Nabamita, she used words such as hooked, few pinches of salt, which is a metaphor, brilliant usage, drama in story, and whimsical, which is her favorite word. And then Toastmaster Swarnalata captured every journey needs a GPRS, which is again a metaphor. I love the usage of the playing with the words, closed palm hand movements, little secret of your journey. And then moving forward, Toastmaster Rajeshwari Rapata, peacemongers. This word is very unique as well as brilliantly used. A monger is someone who demands something. So here she is trying to say that she is someone who demands peace. And then stooped hands or stooping hands, which stooped is something which is going down or below, and then kept me hooked. Toastmaster Uma Nataraj used opportunity knocks only once, twist in the story and engrossed me. That is amazing. Moving forward to which is not so good usage, or the phrases that can be improved, is Google, he showed me. So now Google is not a person. So we have to make it he. It suggested me. And then why me only, which is very common usage. We all do why me only, but the right way is just why me. Only is not required. And then all the students' eye can be made into all the eyeballs. So instead of all the students' eye, it can be just improvised to all the eyeballs. Wasn't able to get bus on time. Couldn't board the bus on time. Like get the bus is like we can't go and hold the bus. So we have to say boarding the bus. Today's my speaker. So the apostrophe or the possession can be changed to today my speaker's project. And then take it in the heart. Should be take it to the heart. So rather than in, we have to use to the heart. Who are a student at that time? So now here there is a conflict between are and a. Again, student. So student is singular, a singular, are plural. So it can be improvised to who were students at the time. To his family home. Now family and homes, it's kind of a redundance. So we can remove the family and make it to his home. It is really resonating with your speech. Actually, the speaker speaks in present tense. So it has to be, it really resonates with your speech. Again, the same, your project demanding. Speaker speaks in present tense. So it has to be demands of your project. And then I will be encounter with. Here, when we say will be, we have to use past participle, which is encountered. So I hope I will be encountered with. How many of you are agree with me? Again, when we use are, it has to be are agreeing with me. Looping ending. So it has to be looped ending rather than looping ending. And hand gestures just coming like this, which is a kind of, we can just improve that and we can say hand gestures doesn't match the speech. And moving forward, I have very few suggestions for pronunciation. I just made note of these sounds. It is not spelling error. These are sounds error so that I don't forget. I have written like that. So it's decision should be decision, sure sound. So how can we improve to sh? We have to practice the sounds differently. So whenever we use sound, we have to remember it is simply the hissing of the snake. Simple. When we use sh, our mouth should be in oval position, and then the tongue should bend slightly inward so that you can produce the sh sound. The same goes for appreciation. It should be appreciation, sh sound. English, it should be English, English. So your tongue should bend little inward, and then your mouth should be in the oval position. And then again, the same problem with s and sh sounds, which is shouting, issue, and see. It has to be shouting, issue, and she. And here it's persuasive. It's not persuasive, it's persuasive. Yeah. So these are the very little minor pronunciations that I was able to find. And with that, I would like to hand over the stage back to our general evaluator. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity.
Quite a grammarian masterclass indeed. I mean, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give this bottle of water and hand it over to the next screen. So phenomenal. I mean, no complaints as such in terms of what we've learned in terms of grammar. I only have 3 recommendations for Toastmaster Yogeshwari. Number 1, take a breath. We don't want you to be in the ICU just by giving your grammarian report. Number 2 would be, when you are sharing your screen, if you can just zoom a little bit more, although I know and I completely understand technically it's like a little challenging, but still. And of course, number 3, this is a very big one. Once you are talking about the whole good usages of grammar, you got to understand this. I just made this very interesting point. When you are starting out and you are starting out with your introduction of the role, you are explaining a bit too much, I felt. So you can straight away get into my job as a grammarian is to good usages, not so good usages, word of the day, example. That's it. So that would be all. Okay, now coming to our final tag team role player, let's bring up our counter, Swanalata ma'am. Over to you.
Just a moment, let me share my screen. I hope you all are able to see my screen. Is that okay? Okay. As an R counter, I didn't have my own salad day because I found even the fluent speakers and the most versatile speakers using so I had a lot of field day. The first, let us go ahead with Toastmaster Rajeshwari. She used 1 R, 2 and 2 so's. Our Toastmaster for the day, Savan Arora, 1 1 and he kept repeatedly said so. Okay. Toastmaster Yogeshwari, this was a big surprise for me. She used 2 R's and 2 R's when she was doing her evaluation. And our president Suryadeep used 1 R and twice when he was doing the master class of evaluation. So our timer, the Toastmaster Vivek, used 1 R, 1 like. And Navamita ma'am had 1 R, 1 that's it. And myself, I had 2 R and 1 Karthik sir had 2 R's, and Sarthak Arora had 1 R, 1 2 likes. And Bharat Mishra had 2 R's, 1 R, and I think he used 4 times and. And then Anchal Singh had 1 R, 2 R's, and 2 likes. Uma ma'am had 1 R, 2 and 1 R. So, people, this crutch words and filler words, when we use, I want to give you 2 little tips. The first tip is slow down your pause. Slow down the way you speak. This will help you to, consciously your mind will be able to remember what is the next word or what is the next sentence I am going to say. Then this will help you to avoid this, that voice. And the second, this is a little bit Complicated, but a very interesting task. The first thing is, whenever you feel like uttering a word like please shut your mouth. I know it sounds very awkward, but then just trying this, just close your mouth and feel how what is your mind talking. Your mind just literally shouts out, don't keep silent, because in speeches we are always still learned that silence is awkward. But if you could just take a few seconds, very little seconds of silence, calm your mind, then the next word is coming to you. This is a very useful tip. When you use, whenever you are stuck or whenever you want to say something like, please consciously keep your mouth shut. Just let it be there. Let the dance happen inside you, but little slowly. You always feel that maybe the others are thinking that I've forgotten, oh, what is this? No, the others will start appreciating you for not using these words, and especially our counter will applaud you that you had no ask. So that's the tip from me. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Amazing, amazing. This is amazing. The best thing I loved about the entire report is that you also gave us suggestions on how to really work on our filler words. That was too good. Thank you so much, Swarnalata ma'am. I just have one recommendation for you. That is, you need to be a little more aware in terms of being a little in detail in terms of the ahs and ums. For example, Anchal, I observed there are, I think, 37 ands and 21 buts. So that was missed out because I was observing in detail. So yeah. So I think that marks the end of a sensational meeting, literally like a masterclass. I think we have one more poll for you. So you can put it up in the chat. And meanwhile, I'm going to hand it over right now to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Savan once again. Savan, the virtual podium is all yours.
Thank you so much, Dr. Suradeep. And it was really a great one. And by the time we have voting, why not get back more on the childhood stage? Everyone with me? Say yes. Yes, TMOD.
Yes, we are.
Good. So now a question comes just to remind you all. How many of you remember or had an Orkut account? And what were the messages called in Orkut? Have you used Orkut? Anybody? I feel some of the people have not used Orkut. Yogi haven't used Orkut, is it? Your face is telling you haven't used Orkut. So anybody remembers what were the messages called in Orkut? By the way, those who do not know, or I certainly feel that I'm quite elder now, that Orkut was my time and people here do not know Orkut. Have I grown too much?
No,
I know about Orkut, but I have not used it. Like,
that was my first.
I
also heard, but I forget.
That was
I
my
heard
first
about
social
Orkut.
media
We
account.
used
I
to call
remember.
it scraps, people, scraps. It was the scrappiest thing, and we used to call it scraps, where everybody could see how many messages a person has got. And the most craziest part was people used to, tend to, like today we have so many followers on our social profiles. That time, having a lot of scraps used to be the trend, not the number of friends you have, but how many scraps you have got. And that was visible to everybody. So scraps were just like tweets being posted on somebody's timeline. And literally scraps used to be sold out. Now let's get a bit more back before Orkut, what used to be there. If somebody remember here, maybe Swarnalata ma'am should remember. How many of you remember Yahoo chat rooms because you had anything like a Google? Oh my God, I am seriously. Anybody can explain what does ASL mean? So let me tell to the new generation of people who are here, maybe either elder to me or still who have never used these things. As soon as we used to start the Yahoo chat, we used to say ASL, please. Anybody remembers ASL? What does ASL mean?
It was age, sex, and
location. Wonderful,
location.
sir. So age, sex, and location is what we used to ask so that we can initiate a chat with a random person we are never going to meet. That used to be the trend, and used to enter the global rooms of across the globe wherever we would enter. And that reminds me of a beautiful incident that happened with me in the year 2007. I visited Mumbai for the first time at my sister's place. She got married in 2006, and I was just there. I don't know if my niece is already here, so that I should not tell the story. Okay, she's gone. Great. So those were the times of cyber cafes. We do not had any GPRS connectivity or the smartphones.
Are you
And
looking for me?
no, I was looking for my niece. If she's there, I should not tell this story.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, I went ahead with my brother-in-law to some cyber cafe. He had some of his work, and I was also there. I sat on another machine. I started a Yahoo chat with some random people, and I asked for ASL and everything. So my brother-in-law is 16 years elder to me. He's kind of a father figure. And once he was done, I was not getting up from this machine. Like, okay, let me chat. And he was like, "What are you doing? You're doing Yahoo chat. Let me tell you how to do that. Don't get into these things here. Why are you asking ASL for people here?" So I was young actually that time, or I was in my salad days those times. So it was really an embarrassing thing that my brother-in-law noticed me getting into some random Yahoo chat. So this was one of those things. And now, how many of you still wait for your guests to go back their home so that you can have the remaining stuff? Okay, Swarna ma'am is definitely a child. I know.
You know,
I've got you all.
My husband has a very bad time. He always says, "Wait, even Nivan can wait. You are not waiting for taking those things." I know.
I am sure you have done all the mischievous things. I remember from the previous Toastmasters meeting, I was the TMOD. You did something weird in the swimming pool as well. I remember that.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
So that was really great. So anyway, while we are discussing all these, maybe you can say that, okay, how are we unleashing the inner child in ourselves? Because this is something we're just trying to recall things what we had done or what we can still do. However, the main purpose for this theme was to realize when we were kids, we had some thought in our mind or some vision, and we had a target that this is what I want to achieve, maybe a toy or maybe something to eat. By hook or by crook, we would think that we have to get that damn thing. Either we need to cry or do whatever it takes, but we will not get deviated from our mission. What happened to us now? Why do we bother so much about, okay, somebody will feel that way, somebody will feel that way? If we just bring back that child back in us, I think that's how, when we can not be considering everything. Of course, we need to take care about the relations and everything. Having said that, we also need to be focused that what we want to achieve should not be deviated, and we need to get that child back in us so that we have something in mind. Other than that, at times it used to happen that, okay, we didn't get something as a child. What we do now? Do we keep crying? Do we keep cringing? Or have you ever got into depression just for something like that in childhood? No, right? When you're very small, 5 years, 4 years, don't raise your hand, please. 4 years, no depression. You do not know the meaning of depression at 4 years age, right? So why do we need to keep craving for things we have not been able to achieve now? When we can move ahead, let's do that. If a chocolate cannot do the job, a toffee could do that. Again, we can do the same thing in our adulthood as well, right? Whatever we need to do, if something is not happening, by everything you have tried, nothing is going to work, go for something else. Yes, ma'am.
Dear Toastmaster of the Day, I just want to say that as I was doing the grammarian's task, my brain was turning into a kid and it was telling, "Oh, why did you take up this grammarian's task? You couldn't enjoy the meeting." Actually, I couldn't keep the screen open as I was typing in my Word document, and I could see only the speaker, where I love turning into the gallery mode and looking at everybody's reaction. So usually I don't use speakers mode. I keep my screen in galleries mode, where I will see, okay, one cracks joke, how others all laugh. So that's how my child, like my kiddie brain was, kept on torturing me throughout the meeting, I could say.
Monkey mind.
Monkey mind. I was hopping between the document and the screen, and it was really a hectic job. more hectic than a grammarian's job.
But what we
because
have
today's
done is
meeting,
tremendous. I feel you have done a tremendous job today.
yeah, today's meeting was fabulous. One such a class apart meeting.
Definitely, and it's because all of us are together, and I think everybody has done their best today. It was really amazing.
To be frank,
So
I went back into my evaluation competition mode. When we were kids, we were competing with each other. So today, in the evaluation, as a role of an evaluator, I felt I should compete with others. I went into that.
Definitely, that's the spirit. I think we should be competitive because that's what inspires us to do the best. If you're not competing, maybe with anybody, we should be. I think at some point in time, inside us, the inner child definitely competes. Whatever we say that I am my own competition, but at some point in time, there's definitely competition outside us.
I think
we hesitate to share.
Today is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
speech and evaluation.
Actually,
contest
today's meeting was
happened.
literally like a kind of a international speech contest and international evaluation contest.
Exactly.
Because the lineup of the speaker and the lineup of the evaluators, like I think every one of us, each one of us would have felt really hard to vote. That was a very difficult task.
Superb refresher it was for everybody.
It is a contagious thing from Suryadeep, Toastmaster Suryadeep.
Exactly.
We
I
must
think
appreciate him.
Suryadeep is now confused. Please give it back to me. I'm the president. Give back.
This podium is for yours.
And
Yes,
do
yes,
we
yes,
have
I'll just-
do we have any guests here so that we can take their or we'll do it.
Okay, wait. I think we just have to announce the results and then we can take up the guests' feedback. I think very quick. So here we go. Let me share the results of today's competitive meeting. The first primary role player. Let's give it up for Toastmaster Savan Arora. Well, congratulations, Toastmaster of the day. I mean, this is the only occasion where I will say I'm feeling so hurt because I gave my best as a general evaluator and I did not win. Apparently, he had told me that I'm going to win, but I did not. So yeah, kudos to you. I told you you're going to win it, right? So amazing. Okay. Now coming to auxiliary role player. Okay, this goes a tie between Yogeshwari and of course our handsome hung Vivek, sir. Congratulations, sir. Best prepared speaker, Toastmaster Savan Arora. Once again, congratulations. Best evaluator tie between Uma ma'am and Swarnalata ma'am. Big round of applause. And of course, we did not have any table topic section, but from this meeting onwards, we've started a new award, which is called as the most improved speaker, and that also goes to Toastmaster Savan Arora.
Thank you so much for this. This is new.
Amazing. Okay, so that marks the end of the meeting. I would like to request guest feedback if in case we have any guests. I think we have Shikha. So Shikha, if you can just tell us how was your experience being a part of this meeting and when can we have you in our club as a member? Over to you. Guest Shikha, are you there? Yeah, we're not able to hear guest Shikha probably because of some technical glitch. Okay, Toastmaster Ganesh. Yeah, I think Shikha ma'am is back. Yes, Shikha ma'am.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, it was very nice and wonderful experience I had today. Generally, I could not attend full meeting, but today I attended full meeting, and everyone was so good, and some of them were so natural. I heard them and I could relate with them, like TM Anchal and TM Savan, and that grammarian report part was so awesome, and I I congratulate Yogeshwari ma'am that she has done a best job today actually, and I learned a lot from all of you, and your energy is really awesome. Yes, your smile and everything related to you is awesome, and actually my I'm choking and that's why I can't say much, and this much. Thank you.
That's okay, ma'am. Thank you so much. And we are all praying for you, wishing you a very speedy recovery for sure. Okay. And we're very looking forward to having you in our club very soon. Thank you so much for being here, ma'am. Okay. Let's hear it from Toastmaster Ganesh. So Ganesh, sir, could you please share with us your experience attending a Speak Magic meeting. Okay, Ganesh sir, are you there? I think he's not. Perfect. So what I would love for all of us to do is just quickly turn on your camera so that we can take a quick photograph before we call it a day for today. What a sensational meeting it has been, isn't it? Just turn on your videos. Let's take a quick picture. After a long time, so many amazing members. There you go. So give me a pose. 3, 2, 1, and yes, this is the power of the Speak Magic community. So right now, what a sensational meeting, delightful, exceptional. Next week, we're going to be coming up with more speeches, more evaluations, a lot of amazing stuff in store for you. And meanwhile, I think a lot of important information also popping up. I think we can just stay back for another 5 minutes, but I'm officially going to adjourn. Oh, I love this doing this. I'm going to adjourn our 164th meeting as closed. There you go. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in. Yes. Okay.
Speak Magic has turned into Speak and Grow, I guess.
Literally Speak and Grow.
Like every single face I see here
I
is
think we
only
can
Speak
stop
and Grow and
streaming
feels like home.
on YouTube.
Oh, it hasn't stopped yet, is it?
No.
Okay.
No.